Stop. Don't attack me with my foam finger. Okay, hello, hi. There's been a recent development. Basically, the gist of it is Chris is taking me on a mystery vacation. I have no idea where we're going. I don't know what we're doing there. All I know is what days we're going, and that's pretty much it, actually. So the way that this came about was I was on vacation in California, and Chris texts me and he's like, hey, my boss told me I have to take some vacation days off by the end of the year. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I figured we would just like take some time off together and just hang out. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And he's like, so I took off this random week in November, where do you want to go? And I'm like, pardon? The next day he's like, give me a list of 5 places you want to go in the order you want to go to them. And I was like, I cannot do that assignment right now. I need extensive planning, thought, research into where I want to go. I haven't thought about this at all. You can't just spring that on me. He's like, okay, well, how about I give you a list of 10 places and you can choose from there. Like, just rank them in order of where you want to go. Those 10 places are Alani, Chicago, Des Moines, Disneyland. Oh, and we have a friend that lives in Des Moines. We're not just like big Iowa fans or anything. New York, we also have a friend that lives there. DC to visit my parents. New Orleans, Disney Cruise, Philadelphia, which is kind of random, and Toronto, which is really random. I figured immediately some of these were just decoys, so I was like, all right, we can probably eliminate some of these. We're not actually gonna go to Philly, for example. Nothing against Philly, but I don't think we're going there. I like wrote him a big long novel back. He was like, okay, I didn't ask for an essay. Okay, you just sprang 10 places on me that I might want to go to. There's pros and cons to each of them. I assume, he said, so don't make your decision based on budget, and I was like, okay, but we're definitely not going to Alani. I immediately said Alani would be amazing, but it's too expensive, so not that one. Chicago would be fun, but all I want to do is eat pizza and see Hamilton. And it would be really cold, so that'd be fun. I would love to go there with him. We haven't been there before together, but I don't know. I would love to visit our friend Brandon in Iowa. That would be great, actually. So I was like, let's put that kind of high on the list. Disneyland, obviously, I just went there, and it probably would be expensive to go for just a couple of days, but I think it'd be fun to go at Christmas. We've never been at Christmas before, and I haven't been with Chris since our honeymoon, so it'd be fun. New York, I would love to go to. Obviously, I haven't been in a couple of years. I haven't been there with Chris ever, so it'd be fun. And we have a friend that lives there as well, so it'd be fun to go visit Danny as well. DC would be fun to visit my parents. I've never gone back there with Chris, so it would be a good time, but I know we're not going there for reasons I will explain in a moment. I would love to go to New Orleans. I'm dying to go there, but Chris doesn't want to do any of the spooky stuff that I want to do. He won't like go do a graveyard tour or a ghost tour, or he won't even do a voodoo stuff with me. Like, come on, Chris. I was like, I want to go there, but I'd rather go there with like my sister or somebody who would actually do the stuff with me. A cruise is a big contender. I would love to go on a cruise again. It's easy, it's close to us, we can probably get a pretty good rate on it, so that's up there as well. And then the last two, Philly and Toronto, I kind of just assume were like throwaways. I don't know, Philly might be fun, but all I want to do there really is eat cheesesteaks for every meal. I don't think Chris would be into that. Toronto would be fun. It's a fun, like, I don't know, like a dark horse there, because we just got our passports and know that Chris is like itching to use them, so that might be a contender as well. So any of those would be fun, and I said that. I was like, literally anything on this list would be so much fun. And so I gave him my list, and he was like, all right, that's good. And that was like halfway through my trip, and we did not talk about it again the entire time I was gone. And I was like, okay, I don't know what he's planning, whatever, we'll talk about it when I get home, I guess. I was wrong. So I get home, he is like, oh yeah, by the way, make sure you get these days off, November 12th through the 16th. And I was like, okay, like why? And he's like, oh, because we're going somewhere. And I was like, oh, okay, crazy, whatever. And he's like, no, it's booked, like we're going there. I was just like, are you my husband? Who are you? What happened? What happened while I was gone? Are you feeling spendy? What's going on here? And of course, immediately I'm like, how am I gonna plan anything? How am I gonna know what we're doing? How am I gonna pack? How am I gonna make a spreadsheet? What's gonna happen to Teddy? If you don't know already, I'm an extremely planning type of person. I have spreadsheets coming out of my ears. I make them for every single vacation we go on. How do you go on vacation without knowing what you're doing or without planning anything at all? I just can't relate to that. We always at work talk about like, would it be possible for me ever in my life to go on a trip without having planned anything? And I guess Chris caught wind of that, because I know nothing about this trip, and it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. It's like my dream and my nightmare. He claims that everything is planned. I was like, well, what if we're going to a place where I've never been before and I have specific things I want to do? And he says, well, how do you know I didn't hack into your spreadsheets on your computer and figure out what you want to do? So all of these are very valid possibilities. I don't know. Literally anything on this list could be a real place that we're going, or someplace not on the list. He was also like, well, maybe I just chose something that's not on the list that would just throw you off. And I'm like, this is a nightmare. But let's have a look here. So my first thought was that it was gonna be a cruise, because it's Monday to Friday these days, and the Disney 4-night Bahamian cruises, they leave on Monday and they get back on Friday out of Port Canaveral. So I was like, that's what this is. And he also told me not to check the mail for a little while. And I know for a fact that Disney Cruise Line sends out stuff in the mail prior to your trip. Obviously that's a very broad hint because anything could be coming in the mail from any location. It just seemed like that's where my mind like zoned in on. And also he said, oh, don't worry about planning things because everything is planned. And that kind of seems like, okay, well, if you don't have to plan any meals or anything, perhaps you're going on a cruise because you don't have to plan meals. I don't know. Here's the thing, I don't actually want to know where we're going. I love being surprised, but I hate the process of like figuring it out. And I know that if I guessed it and I guessed correctly, he would not tell me anyway. But even if he did, if I figured out, like if I saw something that was like a confirmation page or something, if I accidentally spoiled myself, I would be so sad. Oh my God, erase this from my mind immediately. I don't want to know. There's a lot of cognitive dissonance there because I don't want to know, but I really want to know. And I asked Chris when he's gonna tell me, and he said he's gonna keep it a secret for as long as he possibly can. Ever since I told him I have a hunch that it's a cruise, now he's giving me other hints, and I think he's just trying to throw me off, but also, I don't know, it could not be a cruise. I have no idea. For example, we were shopping at Target yesterday. Chris points out this jacket, and he's like, oh, isn't that cute? That could be good for vacation. A hint? I can't wear this on a cruise. Who knows where we're going? Who knows if he just wanted me to buy this? Who knows if I shouldn't have bought this? I don't know, I bought it. It is really cute. It would look good on vacation. I don't know. And he won't even tell me like if we're driving or flying, if it's gonna take a certain amount of time to get there or anything like that. And I'm not mad about it. Like I think it's fun. It's a really cool thing, but also like I'm going crazy. Here are the things that I definitely don't think it is. It's not Aulani. We've established that. He straight up told me we're not going to Aulani. Okay, I didn't expect it. That's fine. I know that it's not DC because I told my mom about our mystery vacation and she was like, oh, where are you going? Was DC on the list to visit us? And I was like, okay, so we're not going there. And I assume that we're not going to Iowa because I was texting my friend who lives there about it and I was like, oh yeah, Chris is planning this mystery vacation. And he was like, oh yeah, he told me about that, but not where you're going. And I don't, maybe he's just good at lying though. I don't know.
You realize that Brendan also withheld information about your engagement without letting you know for over 6 months.
Okay, that's true. Brandon was the first person who Chris told that we were getting engaged, so that's a very good point. Dang it! But I don't know. I just thought it would be interesting to chronicle this because eventually I will find out where we're going. I think it'd be legitimately really fun if we just show up and he's like, all right, surprise, we're here, we're going to this place. I think that would be cool. I've read about companies online that kind of do that for you, where you pay for a trip and tell them what you like and you don't like, and they tell you what to pack and stuff, and they're like, all right, surprise, you're going to Denver, you're going to Atlanta, you're going to whatever. I always thought that would be cool, but also I cannot relinquish control that much. At least with Chris, like he knows what I like, he knows what I hate. I don't think that he would waste money on vacation to some place that I don't want to go. I don't know. I'm going crazy here. But November 12th through the 16th, we will be on vacation. Maybe he'll give me more hints. Chris said that he was gonna do like, you're gonna prepare a suitcase for this kind of destination. You're gonna need 1 formal outfit, 1 athletic outfit, 2 casual outfits, or something like that. So maybe we can narrow it down from there. I don't know. This means I can't do any pre-trip shopping too, which is, I guess, fine. It's better in the long run. Do you have any last minute hints you wanna give me? Any hint, 1 hint.
We are not going to Disney World.
Okay, well, on that note, I guess that's all. We're going on a secret vacation. It's gonna be fun. If you know what it is, please don't spoil me, but I don't know how you would because Chris is really good at keeping secrets. I'll probably check in again later. We have about, I don't know, 6 weeks until this happens, so I have a lot of time to sit here and wallow in my own thoughts. I'll give you updates. I'm gonna write a blog post about this too, so that'll probably be down there, and we'll see what happens. Okay, bye.